Greetings, friends. Good to see you. We have been sitting here in this freezing cold plane. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna get heating up. Give it some mixture. Give it full prop. Little bit of throttle. That's good. Of course, we have our tank selected. Fuel pump on. Alright, with that, it is time. Flip the magnetos. Nice. Turn the fuel pump off. We're gonna go ahead and get things warming up. It's cold in here. Cabin heat. We need to turn on the anti-ice. The defrost. We're gonna get the pitot heat going. Let's drop the mixture. We don't need it so high since we're just idle in here. We'll drop mixture to about 50. Drop anti-ice. Can't tell from the sound, but let's change our angle. Co-pilot, please, would you tell us? Is the cabin heat on or off? It's on. Wonderful. So while we do the onboarding process, we're gonna let the plane heat up here. We got this warm red light in the cockpit to help heat things up. Keep the lights on, that's for sure. Reset our fuel. Reset the yoke just to see what we're working with. We are looking at a 7:15 departure. The time is about 7:10. Let's see here. Pour myself up a quick little bevy. Thanks for flying with Snoot Airlines. We actually serve concessions before the flight, so have a soda, have some popcorn. Get eaten on the takeoff, you filthy animal, because I know I'm gonna be. Ah, delicious. Well, we're finally heating up in this freezing cold weather. We do need to get the ATIS, just so we know what we're looking with. A dastardly winter storm is quickly approaching. We do know that from the west. Head on over to COM 2, see if we can get the ATIS. Exit cursor mode.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
In my town of Washington, Iowa, there is snow on the ground right now.
191 at 12. Visibility 10. Sky condition 1,500 scattered ceiling.
Altimeter 29er76.
Dew point -11C. Altimeter 29er76.
Boom, back on over. One more time, switch back. What did he say the winds are? The winds are coming out of 19, which means we need to take off 1918. What are we looking at here? Runway 18. That's KAWG though. We're not worried about him. Reset, please. Thank you. We're not flying to Washington, Iowa. We're flying the legendary Musky to Osky. Muscatine to Oskaloosa. Alright, okay. KMUT Muscatine Airport. This is where we're taking off from. This is our departure. We are going to be heading to KOTM, which is likely the Oskaloosa Airport. Let's just confirm that. What is KOTM? That is Ottumwa. We're actually going to need to go a little bit north. Let's see, KIKV. And Kenny. Where is Muscatine? Where is Oskaloosa? Oskaloosa Municipal Airport Code KOOA. Well, there's Des Moines. KOOA. There it is. Oskaloosa Municipal. Let's go ahead and set our destination. At the flight plan, this is going to be our arrival. A rather straightforward flight. We are going to be battling some rough weather on our westward departure. Again, what is going to be our best bet for departure here? We do need to leave into the direction of closest to 19. 24 is not a bad option. 1212 is going to be our best bet. So let's ring up runway 30. We'll ring up runway 12 to let them know where we're departing from.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner is taxiing to runway 12, Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Now we'll roll to where it says runway 30. So of course, these fellas in front of us know that we're about to be taking off, so they would get out of position. The plane is nice and heated up for our takeoff. We're going to turn off our cabin heat in the defroster. We also need to turn off pitot heat and anti-ice just for the takeoff. Glorious. Let's begin our taxi. Focus forward, reel back on the throttle. Just enough to taxi. Focus and remove parking brakes. Our mixture is still just a little high for taxiing. We can even afford to pull it back to about a third mixture there. Slowly ease this big old bird on around. Look at that monstrosity right there. Here we go. We have some lights. Perfect. Our goal is to make it to runway 30. That way we can take off into runway 12. Alright. It's a closed airport,
Mike Uniform,
just to be
traffic.
safe.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner, taking off runway 12. Left closed traffic. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
There will be no left closed traffic. We are doing a full stop straight departure. Here's a runway. Peek both ways. Look to the left. Look to the right. Are we clear? Yes, sir. We do not want a Tenerife incident. Here we go. Wheeze onto the brakes because we want to be going no more than 5 knots per 5 knots as we take this turn. Behind us to our left is point 3D, point triple D. We actually went and visited there. I'm not sure what point 3D represents, but we sure did go there. And it sure was. So, while we're finishing up this taxi, gonna finish the last of my captainly business. Hey, Wings over Maine, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you, Wings over Maine. I'm having a fantastic night. We're in for a bit of inclement weather here in Washington, here in Muscatine, Iowa. So a little bit nervous, but aside from that, we're having a great night, and I hope you are as well. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Yeah, let's get back to it. So, before we wheel up, we're gonna ready here on the runway. Just do the quick little check to be sure we're ready to go. Everybody's strapped in. Flaps, 10 degrees of flaps. 1 degree of trim. It's good for the Piper. Fuel pump is off. Fantastic. Do we have our lights on? Pitot heat and anti-ice is going to remain off for the takeoff, but will be quickly adapted. Cabin heat we'll go ahead and add once we get in the air. Alright, we at Snoot Airlines would like to thank everyone for choosing Snoot Airlines. And without much further ado, we're going to prepare for takeoff. Thanks for joining us, and after this quick little smoke, we're going to go ahead and rev our engines on up. So, the no smoking light is of course off, as usual. And I of course did go for a little trip, so I turned my vaporizer off, which means no smoking. Fortunately for you, my passengers. Takeoff time. Release the parking brake. Let's get permission. What direction are we going to be taking off? This is going to be a westward departure. Which direction is west? 9.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. Taking off runway 12.
Are we
West
cleared?
Departure. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Yes, we are, because there's nobody here at this field. Take a left, take a right. Let's go. Don't be scared with the throttle. We'll whip it up to the half detent. Get on the center line. And push forward slowly. Once we hit above 65 knots, we will be able to rotate. Time to tip that nose on up. Let's level up. We're dealing with a bit of winds here, nothing too serious. Give ourselves a couple degrees of trim so we can release the yoke. We have positive rate. We are going to climb to about 1,500 feet. First we need to raise our flaps. We're going to climb to about 1,500 feet and then begin our westward. Hey, Wings Over Maine says up and away. Catch you later, friend. Cheers, my friend. Have a great night, and thank you for joining. So, at 1,500, we are climbing a bit too steep. We do not want to hear a stall horn. Adjust the trim, so I'm not doing this with the yoke. And dip out at a 45-degree turn. We need to adjust our heading, so we're going westward. South. Just gonna bring this up. Yeah, we are far off heading. We need to adjust right turn to west. 25 heading 30. 10-degree embankment. Let's not pick up too much speed here. We don't want to go above 3,000 feet, but we are going to get a little bit of height here. So now we are sitting at a push forward because we're climbing a little too fast. Time to wheel back on our propellers. Give ourselves a little bit more mixture. Wheel back a little bit. Give ourselves less propellers. Tilt that nose down and get even. We are all over the place. Let's calm down. We're at a comfortable heading. Our trim running away with us. We're starting to see the first signs of icing. You know what that means. Pitot heat needs to go on. We're going to turn the engine de-icer on as well. We're going to go ahead and get both the cabin and the defrost on. Adjust our heading. We need to be very careful with the heading. Since we're going into IMC, we need to really buckle down. Let's focus because the road ahead does not look so comforting. 4,000 feet, we need to level off. We're not going to climb much higher. In front of us, you can see an absolute wall of shit. That is freezing rain and snow. Trim down. Let's contact and get us a flight following.
Approach. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9ers Type PA 28
Trim down, trim down.
36 PA 28.
Drop
Miles west of
our
Kilo
landing
Mike Uniform
lights.
Tango 4300. Request flight following.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er
Adjust heading.
Approach. Squawk 0152.
0152 Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Squawk 0152. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Drop trim. We're climbing too fast.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. Radar contact 4 miles west of Kilo Mike Uniform Tango, 4600. Altimeter 2976.
Roger. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
2976 altimeter. That's one down. 2976. Focus again. Out forward. Check our heading. We do need to adjust. We want to go at most heading 24 and at least heading 22. At 5,000, we need to wheel off a little bit more of this mixture. Tilt 3 degrees of trim down. Level off. Watch our turn coordinator here. Watch our turn coordinator. We really got to make sure our attitude and turn coordinator are both on point. We can see the ground and some lights here. 5,000 feet. We are climbing again. We need to stop that. Drop more trim. More trim. We still have the fasten seatbelts lights on. We ask that everybody keep calm because your panic. I'm piloting the fuck out right now. You know what to do when you panic? You just have a little smoke. You drop 2 points of trim and then you have a smoke. So we do need to regain our heading at heading 24, at most heading 24. Drop 3 more points of trim. 5,000 feet is too high. Is everything looking good? Our oil temp looks good. Our fuel is looking fine. Our manifold pressure sits at 20. Our RPMs could be higher, but our speed is comfortable. We are going to give ourselves ever so slightly more propeller power. We are going to drop 1 point of trim. Slightly adjust to heading 2-4. We should be in IFR. Muscatine Municipal. We have no interest in contacting any of these airports. We do need to adjust. Our cams. Let's go to IFR, instrumental cams. The most important for IFR flight is going to be your attitude indicator, your altitude, your vertical speed, and of course, your turn coordinator. They're all important, of course, but basically we're watching this attitude indicator to be sure we're level. We're watching the turn coordinator to be sure we're not getting blown asunder. We're watching our heading, which we actually need to adjust. We need to go to 2-4. We need to also be very wary of our altitude. We want our vertical speed to not go any greater than 10 feet higher or lower per second. Let's adjust with a, at most, 10-degree turn. Slowly wheeling over to heading 2-4. We are losing altitude. That is okay. Adjust to heading 2-4. Adjust, adjust, adjust. Relax. Let go of the yoke. Slightly push to the left. Or you gotta keep going to the left, man. You gotta keep going to the left. Level it out on heading 2-4. Lean to the right now to level out. Level out there you go, ever so slightly. Yoke to the right. So we're losing altitude here. We don't want to go under 3,000. We have a lot of room to play. We are on a good heading. We have a good speed, good heading, a good attitude, and a good loss of altitude. Fuel looks fantastic. If anything, we have a little too much fuel pressure. We have battery power. The oil is warm. Oil pressure looks fantastic. Let's go ahead and yoke to the left ever so slightly. Let's adjust our view. Go back to VFR view. This should be taking us along quite comfortably to our destination. Where are we? We are just north of Point Zesho on our way to Point Amoni. We're actually going to be hitting Point Dorpy. Yeah, boy. yeah, if anything, we need to maintain this heading. We could even go more of a southward disposition. Let's adjust and see what happens. So instead of heading 2-6, let's go to heading 2-2. Very slowly now, very slowly. We're going to continue losing altitude by dropping one more point of trim. What a wonderful night. Let's look to the left. We're going to go ahead and turn off our de-ice system. We're going to leave our pitot heat on. We are going to turn off our defroster. We're going to leave our cabin heat on. And we're going to adjust our heading to heading 2-3, heading 2-2, 2-4. Again, slightly being blown to the right. I don't know if those are winds. We found a nice calm pocket up here in the IMC, but it's not looking so fantastic. Heading 2-4, we still need to continue drifting to the left. Alright, we do need to turn the anti-ice systems back on. There is no getting over that. The defroster, turn that back on. We can already see it looks like a layer of ice beginning to form on the leading edge of the wing. And as we all know, that could lead to a catastrophic loss of lift. Let's go ahead and monitor the situation as it develops. Give it a quick little wiggle. Nothing to be done about it. Alright, we don't want to descend below 3,000 feet now, so we're going to give ourselves 2 points of trim up and see what happens. 2 points of chin up, mate. That's what I prescribe on an unhappy day. Winge it over to the left just a little here. Really do want to drift to the left. Let's even give ourselves just a little bit of rudder. That's looking fantastic. This is a lot closer to the heading that we're trying to maintain. And we'll confirm it. So even though we are to the south, we are going to begin our perpetual right drift. And, well, I'm not sure how good the fidelity is, but there is a beacon in front of us. I'll point it on out. We're not focused on this beacon. We instead are going to focus on this long leading road out here as our VFR target. We're going to get nice and comfortable here. And, well, it appears we're going to level off at 3,000 feet by giving ourselves 1 point of trim and feeding in a little bit more mixture. At 3,000 feet, that is right when you need to start wheezing off of your mixture. So we just need to cut maybe 5% at most. KAWG. I recognize that airport. We're passing a town that I know very well here on the left. This is the town of Washington, Iowa. Now, I know this town so well because it's where I'm from. That's right, this is where I was born and not necessarily raised. Snoot City, this is the one and only. This is Snoot City itself. Washington, Iowa. Many flights begin from here. That right there must be Ainsworth. Most assuredly it is. That would mean out to our north. Hey, we have a person. Good Fam 14. Shout out to Good Fam 14. Let's adjust our camera and see if we can't see him. He's flying a 737 MAX 8 passengers. B-38M, 31 nautical miles to the north. He's flying very low. He's only at about 2,000 feet and increasing. He's increasing very fast. Let's go ahead and monitor our own situation. We also have someone out ahead of us. Tingalig TVR. What is he flying? We actually can't see because his stats are almost obscured. He's in an Airbus A321. He is 100 miles. He's only at 1,000 feet. Incredibly low. He must be just taking off or attempting to land. No matter, we have fallen below 3,000 feet, which means we need to give full mixture. Give 1 point of trim. It's okay, but we do not want to fall below 2,000, see? Yeah, see, under 2,000 altitude, I can't make it work, see? This video is not sponsored, but I'm eating delicious Sturzing's potato chips. Try them. They're a local delicacy from the Iowa-Illinois region. Fantastic Sturzing's potato chips. There is Washington, Iowa. You can see our... Right now, we're entering town past Walmart, going past the airport, past the track right now. We are heading up, well, past the hospital and Main Street. We can see the wing right now, just about to overtake the track. Onwards to the town square. About to consume some delicious McDonald's. Hey, my house. I just went over my house with the wing. The north side of town. This is where the park is. And then you can see the school. The white lights of the school in the distance. And that is the town of Washington, Iowa. Let's focus back on our flight. We're giving ourselves 2 points of positive trim and adjusting our heading. We are going to go just ever so slightly to the south. I'm not going to be chomping on no potatoes tonight. Instead, going to have a delicious brownie. Sorry for the ASMR here in the cockpit, in the cabin, if you will. Fantastic. Let's adjust our heading. Alright. We want to go to the left of this here. It looks like a highway. We don't want to lose altitude while we do it. So we're gonna keep that trim set. And just lazily list on off to the side here. This is the heading we want to maintain. If anything, we might want to descend to closer to 2,000 feet. So we can see our speed and we can hear our engine getting a bit bogged down. And it makes sense because we're anti-icing. We're going to give ourselves a little bit more propeller power to counter that. We are just below a comfortable cruising speed. We don't really have a comfortable cruising altitude, however, so we're just going to continue drifting on over. We can see that fella in his Airbus there. It looks like he's about 90 miles away now. He's sitting at 8,000 feet. Now, we're nice and level here. How are the wings? It doesn't look like they're... Well, frankly, it looks like they are covered in a lot of ice. What we need to do is just do our best. I do think we should gain about another 1,000 feet of altitude, so to gain some altitude, we're going to give ourselves more throttle. We're going to add propeller, and we are going to temporarily cut the anti-ice. Just to gain some altitude, give ourselves 2 ticks of trim. We don't want to ascend too fast now, but we do want to get some speed just in case we start stalling. We want some altitude to play with. So let's gain that altitude right now. Turned off our cabin heat and our defrost, so we have all heating turned off, giving ourselves 2 more ticks of trim, 2 more positive ticks of trim. We need to level off on this heading 2223. Another 2 ticks of positive trim. We are starting to see signs of icing. At 4,000 feet, we need to wheeze off a little mixture. Let's continue climbing to 5,000 feet. Before we get encased, we do need to turn on the anti-ice systems. We are almost at 5,000 feet, where we'll go ahead and begin dropping trim. 1 tick of trim down. Down, 1 tick down, slowly bit by bit undoing the damage done by the altitude we have gained. 1 more trim down, 1 more, 1 more, and adjusting our heading. Between that 6 points of trim just being dropped and turning to heading 2223, we should be able to battle this altitude being gained. 2 more ticks of trim dropped. 10-degree turn. Just a little bit of rudders here. Level it on out. We don't want to go below that 10. That 10 is about the biggest signifier. So we've got to be careful not to balloon here by dropping a bunch of trim. Level it out there. $4,000. We are at 5,000. 5,250 feet. Get on the horn. Let's see. Who are we going to call on up? Well, none of these fools. Muscatine, Iowa. Fairfield Municipal. Who are we attempting to call? We need to call up KOOA Osky Airport. Oskaloosa. There they are. Adjust our heading here. We're getting blown off course a little bit. We're not close enough to really have to worry about calling them up yet. Them's the facts, Jack. KAWG, that is not who we're attempting. KOOA, that is who we are attempting to selecting. Looks like we are 24 nautical miles out. We don't really gotta worry until we're about 10 out. We do need to drift to the north. It's not this town to the left. I believe that's Sigourney. Instead, Osky is going to be this town to the north. We can go ahead and afford to drop about 1,000 feet. Let's go down back to 4,000 altitude. Despite running into a winter storm, we actually managed to have some success. We managed to VFR into, well, it's a little bit generous calling it IMC, but certainly not the best of conditions. Drop 2 points of trim and call me in the morning, huh? That's what the doctor said. Let's celebrate with some goldfish. 2 more points of trim down. We're not trying to gain altitude, we're only trying to lose it. At any point if we do begin gaining, we need to drop trim. Drop trim, drop trow. It's okay to lose less, but it is not okay to gain. So as long as we are on the bottom side of 0, we're doing good. Let's take a look. I see a beacon out there in the distance. Is that our beacon? It just might be. Let's go ahead and see if we can't ring him up on the horn. Osky. Oskalooski. White pigeon. Ottumwa Regional. Here it is. Oskaloosa Municipal. That's who we're attempting to contact. Let's get the ATIS first and foremost.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha Automated Weather Observation 0100 Zulu. Wind 231 at 14. Visibility 10.
Wind
Sky
coming out of
clear.
231.
Temperature 0C. Dew point -10C. Altimeter 297 tree.
It's coming out of 2 tree. That means it's going into 3,
Kilo Oscar,
6.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha Automated.
Let's take us a look. We are selected for runway 1 tree. I see 2 airports in front of me. Gotta make sure we're going to the right one. It is not that one to the left. I'm quite sure of it. However, it may be one closer here to the right. We are now on heading, yeah, wherever it is, it's going to be directly in front of us. There's only one option here. That's runway 1 tree or tree 1. Very funny. This is actually a very adorable airport. I quite like it. It has this nice little short runway right here in a box shape. So let's again see what the ATIS said. Right in front of us, not these blinking lights to our left, but the beacon in front of us is our destination. Wheel back a little on the RPMs. Cut a little bit of that mixture in. 1 point trim down. Wind was out of 231 into 36. So what is our runway? I think there was a runway 4, wasn't there? Runway 4. That's direct with the wind. This is going to be a full stop landing on runway 4.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er, 16 miles east, 5,000, inbound to land, runway 4, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Runway 4 with a tailwind. That means I'm going to come on in this way, and I'm going to land into this way. Here's how I'm going to approach. I'm going to approach on the south side. I need to do that by hitting a more northern approach, by adjusting we need to adjust our heading. That means at a minimum we need to go heading 24. We need to go heading 24 west. We are going to approach on a southerly disposition, relative. We're gonna hook downwind, hook into big base, and approach on final. We're gonna go ahead and announce downwind once we That's what we're going to do. We're going to approach this blinking beacon, announce downwind, fly downwind, announce base, fly base, and then turn for final on runway 4. Let's zoom in and finalize those plans. We need to start losing altitude now, if that's our plan. We're about 15 miles out. We do need to lose altitude, but we don't need to go below that 10. That's about as fast as you want to lose. As we lose altitude, we do want to reel back our speed too, because we're not trying to go crazy. We're just having a good time. $4,000. We're gonna go ahead and get things lit up. We want to see what we're working with as we line up for approach. So, first and foremost, as we approach and as we continue to lose altitude, time to give up our comfortable cabin heat. Time to turn off our anti-ice protocols. Anti-ice is off. Pitot heat is off. We are now at 2,500 feet and dropping. Give ourselves full mixture. 2 points of trim up and full propellers. Turn that light off. It is what it is. It is, you know what it is. We are now flying in for our descent on approach to Oskaloosa. We ask that everybody in the cabin please fasten your seatbelts. Any garbage that you may or may not have, just hold on to it for now. We'll open the windows here and let you throw them out before we hit the runway. We are losing altitude and we want to go no below, no lower than 2,000 feet. At absolute decimus maximus, 2,000 feet. And we can do that by controlling the trim. When we go up, we drop trim. When we go down, we add trim. Trim up. Trim down. We're going to go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of yoke so as not to worry about all of this trim drama. We're going to nose up. It's time to begin slowing down as we approach No dipping. No dipping below 2,000. Where is downwind? I believe downwind is 6. 5. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Time to slow things down. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna trim up as we slow down just to battle this loss of altitude that comes with it. We should be approaching. That blinking beacon is giving us the key for where we want to go, so focus on the beacon. When we hit this next upcoming street with lights is when we're going to turn onto our downwind. We are entering approach. Last warning to fasten seatbelts. There is no smoking sign, but it would not be wise to smoke right now sign is on for anyone who's keyed in. Alright, here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Bring it on up. We're gonna find our downwind. We are at 1,500. Trim up as we speed down. We are now downwind.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Smooth Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on downwind. Runway 4, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
It's tough to see, but it's that little one. It's the little one that runs sideways with the blue lights on it. We are currently downwind. Trim that nose up. We're dealing with some issues here. Slow things down by nosing up. Stay downwind, stay downwind. It's not time to hit base. Ground level is assuming 900. 1 degree of flaps. Drop some trim as we gain flaps. Enter base.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Smooth Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on base. Runway 4, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Lose altitude. Enter on a base. Pull back on the throttle. Add a 2nd degree of flaps. Enter on the final.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Smooth Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on final. Runway 4, to land, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
We cut in too far on base. This is go around territory. Lift flaps. Runway 4. So now to go around. This would be a full stop. Announce it. once more.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. 2 miles northeast, 1600. Inbound to land. Runway 4, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Let's try again. We need to go a little longer on downwind. Level it up. Okay, we'll find our level with the beacon.
Oscar Oscar
We're
Alpha
on downwind.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on downwind. Runway 4, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Cut throttles as we add a little bit of trim to nose up. That way we can start dropping speed. Look to the left, we are downwind, and of course, we need to commit to a downwind approach. It's going to be a downwind with a long base, because we are quite a ways out from the airport. Cut the throttles even further. Nose up, nose up. Since we're downwind, we need to activate the fuel pump. We are in for landing. Okay, maintain this heading. Trim up, trim up. We want to get below 80 knots so we can deploy flaps. Once we deploy flaps, we will begin our base approach. Nose up, trim up. Nose up, flaps, announce base.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on downwind. Runway 4, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Embarrassing.
Kilo
Is it
Oscar
base?
Oscar Alpha traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is
Landing
on base.
lights.
Runway 4, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Dang, unfortunate. We went a little too far on base again. But I think we can pull it out of the fire this time. Assume ground level is 900. We need to give ourselves trim. We're dropping just a little too fast here. Just a little too fast. Give ourselves some degrees of rudder. Give ourselves a little bit of throttle. One more degree of flaps. Throttle, throttle, throttle. Level out them wings. We don't want to touch wings. Cut the throttle. Cut, cut, cut. Here we go. Hit the ground. Rudder back on. Rudder back on. Now that one got hairy as all hell. And that's why, because we landed on a taxiway and not a runway. Oh boy, we just about enacted one of the scariest aviation incidences in modern history. Let's go ahead and take a look at the runway. Of course it's not lit up because the airport is closed. They're not suspecting anybody to come land on their runways. But we have passengers who need to make it from Musky to Osky. And as such, well, let's go ahead and Taxi to the runway. We're gonna announce a taxi to the parking.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9ers taxiing to parking. Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Here it is. No lights at all. None at all. No way to tell this is an active runway. It's completely shut down. Look at that. How dare they shut down? Well, let's get off of this and announce clear of runway. We are clear of runway.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9ers clear of the runway. Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
There we go. Let's get on that old yeller line. My camera's going crazy. This isn't a bug or anything. This is what I'm doing in the cockpit right now. Absolutely tweaking out. Alright, let's cut all of that throttle. We don't need to be coming in smoking this crazy. So behind us is the hangars. We're looking for the passenger drop-off. Here is the municipal airport to our left. That's Osky Municipal for the uninitiated. We're gonna go ahead and... Where are they expecting us? Probably here to the left. Hello? Nope, not there to the right. Here's a fuel gate. There they are. There's our fellas. They're ready to pick us up. Hello, friends. Anyone else we need to call on comms? No, sir. We already announced clear. We're gonna cut that mixture. Alright, is these our friends? Are they ready to pick us up? I don't believe they are. Oh, yeah, they are. Yes, they are. This is where the planes sleep, I suppose. Boom. Activate the parking brake. We're gonna leave the plane running, but we're gonna cut the prop. Let's drop the propeller speed. Full mixture. Propeller speed. Nothing. Throttle min. Mixture almost cut. Unfortunately, we did cut the mixture, so let's give it enough to reboot this baby. There we go. Lights, camera, action. We're gonna leave the engine idling, actually. So begin the off-board deboarding process while we have the engine cut. Pardon me, madam. I'm gonna get right. I'm gonna scooch right by you there to get me some ranch. Anybody who has baggage, go ahead and unload and unload. Load your baggage. Load it up. Wonderful. Those are the hangars. Where's the airport? That must be the airport over there. So yeah, just head that direction. Go ahead and get you some snacks. Get you some ranch packets. Some fried corn tots. We're gonna be loading up and getting ready to board for Osky to Musky. Make sure to lock and close the door. That's a hard lesson that I've learned a few too many times. You do not want that door, you don't want it flying open when you're in mid-flight. Very terrifying. Give ourselves a little bit of fuel pump. Turn the AP trim off. Clear prop. There we go. Turn our fuel pump off. Lights. Turn off these bright lights so we don't burn our fucking eyes out. Turn on the nice red glare where we're gonna chill in here with some cabin heat like a bunch of fucking lizards. Boom. Boom, the defrost. Pitot heat and defrost. Okay. What is the local time? The time in local time is 8:18. We are looking for an 8:30 return flight. Go ahead and run in and run out. We're going to be preparing at 8:25 is when we're going to begin boarding. And yeah, we're going to be flying from Osky to Musky. Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are beginning the boarding process. Go ahead, make sure you avoid the propellers. Go ahead to the back side of the plane and begin loading up any baggage you may have. The time in local time is 8:25 p.m. We are preparing for our return trip. Osky to Musky. Let's go. As you can see on the distance, there is still a bit of precipitation, but no matter. We are sitting here in the nice, warm confines of our Dakota Piper PA-23 dash whatever, enjoying a nice Coca-Cola. Make sure you enter code SNOOT next time you purchase Gamer Fuel. I don't know if it'll do anything. I'm not sponsored by Gamer Fuel, but we're revving up. We're revving up for our flight. Again, that's going to be Osky to Musky. The one and only Musky to Osky, Osky to Musky. Return flight. Rain, wind, sun, or shine. I'm flying. Alright. So, as the time approaches 8:30, we are hoping that nobody is stuck in the building because we're going to go ahead and smoke our 1 or 2 hits, and then we're going to get permission to get back on that runway and up in the air. So, if you have any friends who are still in the building, tell them we're about to leave. Let's see, what does the ATIS have to tell us?
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha automated weather observation 0200
It is freezing.
Zulu. Wind 220 at 11. Visibility
Wind
10.
coming out of 220.
Sky condition. Ceiling 4300
That means you want to take off into
Temperature
220.
Dew point -10 C. Altimeter 2970.
So if the wind's coming out of 22, we want to take off into 22. They have a runway 22. Let's go ahead and confirm. We're going to select that runway 22. Let's just confirm what we're dealing with. Where is this mythical runway 22? There it is. It's the short runway. Yeah, I'm sure it is the short runway. Heading 22 is 2 hour left. That's right. So we're going to want to take a right. Head on up here to runway 22, at which point we're going to take off. Gotcha. Our plan is now set. What is the time? The time is 8:29. That gives us 1 more minute for any more straggling geeses. Any lucky Lucies. Any leases. Hurry up, get to the plane. We're about to get permission. We're about to taxi away. As usual, we'd like to thank you for flying Snoot Airlines. We know that our competitors have much better records, including pilot's license, which I don't have. But, well, we know it's a tough economy. That's why we do what we do. So, hey, the time is... It's not 8:30 yet, but we're gonna do it. Let's announce our taxi. Glorious. 8:30. We're good to go.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is taxiing to runway 22, Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Give ourselves 1 degree of flaps. Take a look at our trim. Set it to 1 degree of trim. While we're taxiing, we don't need all this mixture. We're going to drop that down to like a 1/4. Lights look good. Anti-collisions on. Pitot heat on. We're going to turn that off. We're going to turn all the heating off for takeoff, including but not limited to our anti-ice, our engine anti-ice. There it goes. That's all of it. Taxi runway lights on. Look left, right. Give ourselves a little bit of throttle. We're taxiing. Here we go. It's me, Mario. 8:31, only 1 minute too late. After waiting for 7 minutes, we were not able to taxi on time. That's why we fly Snoot. You know what to expect. So it would appear that there is no runway lines here. And we know because we actually landed on this taxiway earlier. We're feeling rather comfortable. We need to slow things down as we come around this curve here to the left. No greater than 5 knots is the law. We know that nobody's watching, or officers would have arrested us by now. We're gonna whip it around this left corner carefully so that we don't run into any issues with this building. And we are gonna taxi our way on down. This is our runway, right up here, runway 4. Give ourselves a little bit of mixture so we don't stall out here. Our engine's really starting to bog. Take a peek on over just to be sure. Hey, there is a yellow line. I figured there was going to be one. I know there wasn't on the route we just took, but since we have the yellow line, we can slow things down. We can see right up there in about 6 to 7 more blue lights we're going to be taking a left. 4 more. 3 more. That's our turn. Cut the throttle. 2. We're going to let ourselves coast and glide here. Just a little bit of, wee bit of brakey. Here we go. This is our runway. Leaving onto it. Runway 422. We are pointed into the direction the wind is pointing. We are going to take off. Ascend to about 1,200 feet. We are then going to depart. Well, we're going to depart to the west. To the east, pardon me. How embarrassing. Bring up comms. Eastward departure. That's 8. Request.
Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. Taking off runway 22. Departure to the east. Kilo Oscar Oscar Alpha.
Full mixture. Everybody make sure to fasten your seatbelts. We are about to take off. Last call for not really much. It's takeoff. It's far too late for last calls. Remove that parking brake. Whoops, I need to release it. Yes, I want it released. Here we go. We're ready. Reset our camera. 10 degrees of flaps. Reset the camera. Waddle onto the first detent. And then push forward from there. All the way up. Okay, we just need to stay in the center until we hit 65 knots. It's fine. 65 knots means we need to nose up ever so slightly. Look at that. A thing of beauty, isn't it? Trim up, trim up. Trim up. Doing good. We need to ascend to 1,500 and then we can begin our eastward trajectory. Time to turn now. 10-degree turn as we continue to climb. Just a little bit of rudders now. 10 degrees. Whip off to the east. We're gaining altitude a little too fast for me. We're going to trim down here. We're going to trim up 2 points actually. And now we're sitting on an eastward trajectory. There it is. There's the runway below us. Trim down. We want to keep that vertical or even negative gain below 10. If at all possible. So, as we're now approaching 3,000 feet, we're going to reel off our throttle, and we're actually going to reel off a little bit of this propeller. Our propeller RPM should sit at about 21, 22. Our manifold pressure should sit at 20. And as we approach 3,000 feet, we need to slowly reel our mixture off to about 80%. Trim down 2 points. We need to set our heading because as we can see, once we remove these landing lights, flaps up, we're about to enter some IMC. Now, we actually already bested this storm on the way over, but that does not mean we could sleep on it. Our trajectory does need to be shifted to the north. So, let's adjust 1 point of trim up. Drift to the left here. Do we want to maintain a trajectory of 060, or do we want to maintain a trajectory of 040? There we go. There it is. Trajectory 060, 050. That's as good as it gets. Here at 4,000 feet, we need to level off. We also need to remove a little bit more mixture. Just a little. Trim down 1 point. Maintain at 060. We are seeing some friends here. Rocking Tony 101. He's flying the H-125 Rescue AS-50. He is 50. Oops. Give ourselves a little bit more manifold pressure there. All the way back up to 20. He's sitting at an altitude of about 1,000 feet. We have another friend in the distance who we can't see because we're gaining altitude a little too fast. Trim down here 2 points. Push forward on the yoke just a little. We don't want to go above 5,000. Let's set that as a rule. Bringman. He is flying an Edgar 540 V2 Edge. He is 83 miles that way. There also, everyone's at about 1,000 feet. We have that one more buddy. Looks like his name has been lost to the fog forever. The mist comes for us all. That's something that I can guarantee. No matter, we have to face it with bravery. Our flaps are up. Our manifold pressure is set comfortably at 20. We need to drop 1 or 2 points of trim because we're starting to approach 5,000 feet. As we approach 5,000 feet, we need to wheeze off even more mixture. We have this highway to our right to kind of help guide us, but we do want to maintain a heading of 060. So if anything, we do actually need to drift to the north. And as we can see, we are starting to get the first signs of icing. Let's go ahead and turn our anti-ice systems on. Pitot heat on. Anti-ice on. We're gonna turn our cabin heat back on and our defroster. Nice. Defrost and cabin heat are on. The defrost really is kind of a cheat code in this game. It seems like once you turn defrost on, boom, immediately, just no signs of ice at all. Above 5,000 feet, we're starting to get ran away with our altitude here. It's not what we want. We're on a correct heading. We just, we're not at the correct altitude. Let's get a flight following. Tune to Chicago Center.
Chicago Center. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
We're gonna drop
type
down.
PA28-236 PA28. For miles southwest of India Alpha 50, 5300. Request flight following.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er, Chicago Center. Squawk 2572.
2572, Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Squawk 2572. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. Radar contact 3 miles south of India Alpha 50, 5300. Altimeter 2972.
Roger, Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Roger. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Let's adjust our heading here. We're going a little too far east. We need to be going on more of that 060 heading. Yar, we be needing to lean port side, laddie. We are like heading straight east. We need to go heading 060. We'll even give ourselves a little bit of rudders. Just a little bit. Just 1 little degree of rudders. Let's turn this big old boat. There we go. We're trying to go parallel with this road. We're not trying to intersect it. This is the heading we want. We're actually going to give ourselves a degree of rudder trim. To the left. Whoops. It's opposite. Rudder trim. You mean like 0.2 rudder trim to the left? Thank you. Thank you, Mom. We're leveled out here at 5,400 feet, but we can drop 1 point of trim and begin losing a little bit of that. We're going to kick 1 more point of that rudder trim. So now we should be at -1 rudder to the left. Time to hook far north. Rather than following this road that we've been following, we need to follow this road to the... what is it? It looks to the north. It's the port side. Let's give ourselves a full, no regrets, 10-point turn. Wheel it on over to our destination. 060 is our heading. It has always been our heading. We've just
Sierra Alpha Lima,
not been diligent.
Tree 9er contact Chicago Center on 1 tree 5.6.
1 tree 5.6. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er tree 9er.
1 tree 5.6 for Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er tree 9er.
Okay, then we're gonna ring up our bad boys on 1 tree 5.6. Hello, lads. Chicago Center in it.
Chicago Center. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er tree 9er 5500.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er tree 9er. Chicago Center. Altimeter 2971. Radar contact. Continue.
There he goes, absolutely flying 80 miles away. I don't think that fella was where the game thought he was. In fact, it looks like he's about 60 miles to ours. Our east, our northeast. We're starting to lose our heading. We do want to maintain heading 060. To do that, we're going to kick 1 point of rudder trim in. Wheeze to the left here, ever so slightly. Just tilt our wings. Give up the ghost to the wind. We're about to pass Washington, Iowa. My home. My ancestral breeding grounds. Oh, 60 is a fantastic heading. drop 1 point of trim to begin losing a little bit of altitude. We've been putting some miles on the engine today. She's really holding up good. I'm in a nice, comfortable place right now. Even though we're dealing with a little bit of clouds out here, it's not bad at all. VFR conditions, an extremely comfortable flight, let me say. It's nice and warm up here. We're not too worried about the ice. And there's almost no turbulence. The winds tonight are just not a problem. The snow that we dealt with earlier is not part of the picture either. So I could not be happier. I am happy as a lobster right now. Gonna have me a sip. Amazing. So, as we pass Washington, Iowa, we are, in theory, reconducting the Washington to Musky flight, which we did earlier, which is only one leg of the legendary Osky to Musky connection that we're on. That's been the goal of today. Washington to Musky, Musky to Osky, Osky to Musky. And this is the third leg. So, we only have to get from Osky to Musky, which we're on right now, and then we're going to be returning from Musky to Washington, and we will have made the complete round trip. We have another person, U.S. Army Sapper 12B. 12B, let's zoom over him. What is he flying? Many friends on the route tonight. He's within 50 miles of us. He's flying the FA-18 Super Hornet. Hopefully he doesn't get it into his mind to come and intercept, because we haven't done anything wrong.
Lima Niner tree. Niner contact. Approach on 118.2. Good day.
118.2. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner.
Going to 118.2. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner. Approach Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner 5400.
Let's
Snoot
drop a
Sierra
point of
Alpha
trim.
Lima Niner Tree Niner. Approach altimeter 2970. Radar contact continue.
He said altimeter was 290, so let's adjust altimeter 290, 2970. We desperately need to get back on track. Let's see what we're dealing with. From heading east to heading 060, go ahead and full turn it, even with a degree of rudders. Waddle on north to the north. Waddle on morph. Just like a dwarf. Alright, there we go. Now we are online. Let's contact. Alright, let's get the Musky ATIS.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango Automated Weather Observation. 0200.
Wind 191. That needs to be our tailwind. We need to land into
10. Sky condition
3 or 4.
Temperature -3 C. Dew point -7 C. Altimeter 2975. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango Automated Weather Observation. 0200 Zulu. Wind 1.
That's alright, let's redo. So I know that they have a runway 4. Oh, no they don't. That's where we were at. This is a completely different place. They have a runway 6. And it's looking like runway 6 is going to be our guy. 4 and 6 are just 2 degrees off. However, it seems to be that runway 6 is going to be one of the less serviceable. Oh! Wow, look at that. There's runway 6. Right there. Well, let's do it. Let's call it in. Runway 6. That's our guy. Hello, good lad. 1, 2, 3. Runway 6. We actually should be online with him right now. This is going to be a full stop landing. Announce our position.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er, 12 miles southwest, 5,000. Inbound to land, runway 6, Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Are we really just gonna come straight on in for final? Yeah, I think we are. You know we're gonna. So close this menu. A bit of a bug in the Microsoft menu is when your ATC menu is up, it doesn't want to let you zoom in or out on your EFB. Absolute pain in the ass, but you know, when isn't Microsoft Flight Sim a pain in the ass? Gonna go ahead and keep drifting this way. It looks like we're lined on up. You can see it right now. We're actually going to announce final because we're on final technically. Yeah. Do that. We need to nose up, throttle down. Prop mixture full.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on final, runway 6 to land. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Let's see how good we can make this happen. We're trying to drop some fucking altitude, man. We are on final. We're gonna go ahead and once we get a little closer, turn our fuel pump on. We have throttle set to idle. Full propeller speed. We need to add mixture. As we lose altitude, we're just going to keep adding mixture. The prop, the trim is going to be adjusted accordingly. It's going to be positive. We're going to add some positive trim. We're going to adjust the rudder trim back to 0, 0. Rudder trim up. We don't want to lose more than 10 feet per second. If we can just stay at 10, we'll be happy. Stay dropping at 10. That means trim down trim up, trim down, 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 trim up. You don't want to go below 10, but we don't want to go above it neither. Trim down, down. This is going to be a go-around situation. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to enter into crosswind.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on crosswind. Runway 6. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Go on, enter into crosswind. Don't be shy. Now we're going to cross into downwind. Trim up, trim up. Announce downwind.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on downwind. Runway 6. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
There's our friend, U.S. Army Sapper, 12B, 30 nautical miles out. He is flying very low in that Super Hornet. Take a zoom. Let's get direct online here. We need to be downwind. We don't need to be base. We don't need to be lateral. We need to be parallel. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say, okay? I ain't trying to be adjacent. Perpendicular. We gotta be parallel. 1 and 1. The back third quadrant, we can go ahead and start adding trim flaps. We're at cut idle throttle. Max mix. Give it a little bit of throttle now. Once you get flaps, you want to give a little throttle so you don't fall out of the sky. We're gonna stay on downwind until we have a foot to piss on. A pot to stand on, if you will. Cut that speed. Take a beep. Stay downwind. Stay downwind. Stay downwind. So all you gotta do is not pussy out on the downwind. You know, it's what we do. We pussy out on the downwind. Two points trim up, hit base. 3 points trim up. Now we don't want to crash into the ground here. Give just a little bit of throttle, right? 1 more degree of flaps. 2 degrees of trim up, announce base.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on base. Runway 6. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Is my fuel pump on? Turn that shit on. You need it on when you land in the Dakota Piper. We're gonna go from base to final. First, let's stay on base, alright? We need to stay level with where we're at. We need to not lose any more. We need to not go below 900, okay? For real. Cut it close. Keep it tight. Work with me now. 3 degrees of positive trim, 4 degrees of positive trim, 5 degrees of positive trim. Start turning in for final. Cut the throttle. 4 degrees of trim up, 4 more degrees of trim up. The lights say we're shy, so give ourselves a little bit of throttle. Let's just announce it so we don't gotta worry about it. We're on final.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on final. Runway 6 to land. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Last degree of flaps has been deployed. Now we just need to be careful not to stall. The lights say we're shy. Give ourselves a little bit more throttle. Let's peek our head on over. Cut the throttle, because this is it. We're on final. You already know we on final. That's 2 lights right there. They went from white to red very fast, which means we need to either trim up or throttle up. We're gonna trim up. Trim up, degrees of trim. Just continue bringing them up. Cut the throttle. Just keep trimming up while you cut that throttle. Everything's fine. Ting, 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 ting. So much trim. So much trim. Cut the throttle. 10 points of trim. Work your rudders here. We're about to stall. Give ourselves some throttle. Oh, unfortunate. We met our death. We met our death trying to land in Osky. Where are we? Let's get this bad boy to the ground. Too little throttle, not enough flaps. Now we make the landing of shame. Cut the throttle. Nose it up. Look out the right side. First off, let's get this accursed light out of our eyes. There we go. Wheel it on in. We're on the downwind.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner is on downwind. Runway 6. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Boom, we're just gonna do it right here. Cut from downwind to base.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner is on base. Runway 6. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Cut straight from base to final. Let's announce.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner is on final. Runway 6 to land. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Second degree, there you go. Big flaps, come on in. Like a fucking menace. Tilt that nose up. Just so we don't get screwed here. Little bit of rudders. Tilt the nose up. Let's go. Get online, get online, get online. Nose up, nose up. Hit that brake, hit them brakes. Slam the brakes. Alright, let's get clearance. Hello, announce taxi to parking.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner is taxiing to parking. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
How do we taxi to parking? Where is it? Well, it's gonna be straight to our right. First off, we need some lights. Second, we need a little bit of speed. We're going too slow. As we can see, on our upcoming right is a taxiway. This is what we'll use. Boom, okay, announce clear of runway. Clear runway.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima Niner Tree Niner is clear of the runway. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
Yeah, we're just gonna hook a big ol' Yui here. Nice. bad news. Since we totaled the borrowed Piper. Yeah, this Piper is borrowed from Iowa City. We're gonna have to borrow one from Osky. The tail end of this flight is likely to be made in a 172, as much as I hate the 172. Let's go ahead. Anybody who survived the crash, let's go ahead and attempt to unload and unboard. Hopefully the blood loss is not too severe. Any broken legs or limbs, Snoot Airlines wants to remind you we are not responsible for. And yeah, just whoop, cut the engine, whip it on around here. Oh god, goodness. Everything's fine. We didn't touch wings. The engine's cut. Hopefully we survived, but I don't know how survivable that one was. This one goes in the books as a certified crash. Let's go ahead and begin the onboarding process. Everybody out. Check yourself. First out, first served. Cut the engine. Hopefully the paramedics are here. We're gonna go ahead and squawk the ELD. We should have turned the anti-ice off on landing. Never have your anti-ice going on landing. We stalled out because we didn't have the power we needed. And I also panicked a little bit. I got caught in the weird camera views. I should have kept my cool. Hey, now we know. I'm your Captain Ghost Snoot. Everybody, any baggage we have left, again, anybody who's alive, we're gonna reload into another airplane. So we're doing a quick little layover here at Muscy. The time is 9:12, so we are going to board on up. What are we gonna be boarding? What are we borrowing? Nothing too fancy, that's for sure. The Douglas, wouldn't that be something? The Cub. A Cub, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, we could be stuck in a Cub. The TT Corvallis. That one's always quite nice, isn't it? It would be a good excuse to upgrade. But we're just gonna go ahead and go with the Cessna 172 Skyhawk here. Again, we're borrowing this one from Muscatine. Tow, skis, skydiving. We're going with this one because we're carrying people, passengers. See, that's nice. I wish more liveries were an option. I play on PlayStation 5, so we really don't have shit for liveries or planes. Waiting for them to drop some more, and it makes sense. I'm just happy enough to have this game. Here's a good one. This is a good one. This is a livery that I would not choose for a personal plane. IAP was the borrowed Iowa Piper. What is this craft? This is Muscatine. Musky. We're still Snoot Airlines, Sierra Airlines. 939. We'll always be 939. But now we're flying this borrowed 172. Iowa City is not going to be happy that we crashed their Piper. They're most likely going to be absolutely furious. We're just going to fly now from ramp GA small. Oh, goodness gracious, it is so cold out here. So anybody who has baggage, get it loaded up quickly. We're gonna remove the chocks. Flip the pitot heat out of here. It is windy as a witch's tits. Get rid of the static port cover. Get the engine covers off. Now we're good to get in. Of course, they're sending us with another co-pilot. Our last one ended up passing away. That's okay. What do we have for lights in this bad boy? Yep, we got some lights up there. Let's, been a minute since I was in the 172. Let's take a look. Flip our stuff on. This is a beautiful plane that I do not like. I prefer the 152 with its, analog. Still, the 172 is, amazing. What a plane. The Skyhawk here. Do we have any lights? Any glare shield lights? Hello. What are we looking at? Hot air entry. That's their anti-ice over there. Yeah, don't be shy. Go ahead and turn your Garmin on too. It's the ELT. We don't need that. Come on, lady. Turn it on. Turn on your freaking... Cabin power, pitot heat, we don't need that yet. Fuel pump, we aren't going to worry about that. The lights, we will turn our lights on. Landing and taxi lights for the journey. Nav lights. Strobes, those are good. Glare shield lighting, we need some of that. There we go. Panel lighting brightness. I knew it was in here. Pedestal lighting. Do we need that lit up? Just to see what we're doing. So we do need to select a fuel tank. We're going to select both. The Piper can only do one of two. I don't need to worry about that. We can turn that shit off. Leave it just barely cracked. The radio lighting brightness. You know we need that in max. Unfortunately, I can't see my radio at all. Yep, the glare shear is going to stay full because that looks absolutely sick. Panel lighting. We're going to leave that rather high. It's an unfamiliar craft. I don't spend too much time in the 172, but it does have the stylings of the Cessna. Okay, we have overhead lights. What's going on in the back over there? Well, hopefully everybody's comfortable back there because we're about to begin boarding. This is the return flight of the night. Washington, Iowa. Musky to Washington. Returning home. Let's get permission. Well, before we get permission, we do need to boot the plane up. Nice, simple boot up the Cessna. Just a little bit of mixture here. Full mixture and a little bit of throttle, rather. Of course, start with that 1 degree of trim just to make things easier on takeoff. Just one, nothing too crazy. Here we go. There's our magnetos. Start her up. Clear prop. Sounded a little gnarly. But, yeah, looks like we're actually pretty good. We're good to go. So we're going to be turning to the right and doing a big old whip around. Let's get to ATIS. Contacting. KMUT.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango Automated Weather Observation. 0300 Zulu. Wind 181 at 10. Visibility 10 and snow. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1500 ceiling 4300 overcast. Temperature minus 3 C dew point. Minus 6 C. Altimeter 2974. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango Automated Weather Observation. 0300 Zulu. Wind 181 at 10. Visibility 10 and snow. Sky condition. Few clouds at 1500 ceiling 4300 overcast. Temperature minus 3 C dew point. Minus 6 C. Altimeter 2974. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango Automated Weather Observation.
Well, it looks like the snow is starting to come on in, so we're gonna need to get up into the air quicker rather than later. Let's go ahead and see. The wind is coming out of 181. We need to take off into 181. Let's announce, let's choose a runway. Select the runway. It needs to be closest to 181. That's 12. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We could go runway 12 or runway 24. They're actually the same amount of differential. So, runway 24 is probably going to be our best option. Runway 12, runway 24. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take runway 24. We're going to go ahead and do our big ol' looping U-turn.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is clear of the runway.
I'm
Kilo
not clear
Mike
of the
Uniform
runway.
Tango.
No. I'm trying to select number 4, not announce clear runway. Or taxiing.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is taxiing to runway 24. Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
There we go. Flashlights. Is there a way to turn on this Garmin unit? I'm sure there is. Normally you just click right here. FMS, more like KMS. Clear. Enter. Come on now, work with me, please. Just turn this bad boy on. Oh, it's the autopilot. Well, I'm not going to be worrying about the autopilot, that's for sure. Turning that off. Focusing. We have permission, pretty much. So let's go ahead and zoom on out. Take a look to the right. We're good to go. Remove our parking brake. And begin the journey. It's going to be a massive U-turn right here. We need to not be shy. We need to really lay on that throttle. This thing doesn't have any propellers to worry about. Only manifold throttle. Slow down, slow down. There we go. We are now online. Look at that. Borussia, 707, 40 miles away, in the PC-24 VIP. We're sitting a little low down here, but that's okay. We can lean our head up and over. So our plan was to taxi down this long right taxiway. And in the 172, it is okay to sit low because you have this amazing digital readout right in front of you. Give ourselves a little bit of throttle. Not so much that we take off or anything, but yeah, we're really trying to gain some speed here. We're kind of in a rush. We want to get back to Washington, Iowa. We had a rough last leg of the journey, so at the very least we could oh, coming up, that's our destination. There at the end of the runway. Our system recognized the ILS sensors. Peek on over. Slow things down. Cut that throttle. By the time we hit this curve, we want to be going 5 knots. Hard brake, hard brake. Got a little too gung-ho there. This is the hold short point, and we're already cleared for this runway, so we're not going to worry about it. It looks like there are other planes in the area, so whip up the comms. Announce taxi.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is taxiing to runway 24, Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
We're going to take off to the west.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er, taking off runway 24, departure to the south, Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
The south, embarrassing. No, I said the west. The Wild West.
Kilo Mike Uniform Tango traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er, taking off runway 24, west departure, Kilo Mike Uniform Tango.
We are now cleared for liftoff. Full mixture. Taxi lights off. Landing lights on. Caught our shit a little bit. We're not trying to battle our brakes here. Turn those brakes off and do it again. Run to the center here, right between the two letters. Full throttle. This thing's gonna rotate once we get to about 55, 60 knots. Rotate, 55. Nose up, come on, relax. Get up there, big boy. Turn off. Flaps go up. Lights go off. Nose goes up. Look ever so slight to the right. Our computer's going to shit there. Keep wings level. We're gonna start gaining altitude here. 1,500. Bring this bad boy up. We need to hook to the west. Above 2,000 feet now. We're gonna not want to take this thing above 3,000. It can definitely handle it, but I don't know if I can. Hook back slightly to the north. Drop 2 points of trim. Let's see what's up. Bring back our EFB here. We're not that terribly far away from Washington. I guess we are a ways away, aren't we? Hook to the north. A hook to the north. Nose down, nose down. We're starting to go above 3,000. Once you're above 3,000, you gotta cut your mixture. That's just the way it goes. I don't invent the rules. We're gonna trim down, we're gonna trim down. We're gonna trim down sizably. We're gonna pull back on the throttle as well. Hey, it's the King, good old Muscatine. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, King. This episode's been for you. Washington to Muscatine, Muscatine to Oskaloosa, Osky to Musky to Washington. What a flight. Shouts to the King. Hope you're having a good day. We got a good heading here. We do need to adjust a little bit starboard to the north. We should be catching sight of Washington before too terribly long. We're sitting at 3,000 feet, so we can go ahead and set our mixture to full. Drop our trim by 1 or 2 points. Another 1 or 2 points. Drop the trim. Zoom it on out just so we can see ourselves there. Keep dropping trim. We don't want to go above 3,000 feet. We have full mixture. We really do not want to cut that mixture. Look to the left. Any signs of icing? It looks like not. It looks like not. We have a comfortable speed. We have a comfortable disposition. Slowly losing altitude. Chugging along in our borrowed Cessna 172. A couple of friends out here in the night skies with us. Borussia 707 and ABM Herschel. Always fun to have friends to fly with. Get back on into the cockpit here. We're going to adjust our heading just a little to the north. As you can see, our VOR line, we're actually almost sitting on top of it. And it would appear that there is a plane intersecting our path. He's most likely above us. We're going to have a hard time seeing him. Most of these jet airliners fly 30,000 feet or so. And we're only at about 2,000, so probably won't see him. Hey, that's okay though. We can go ahead and sit our happy ass on this VOR line. We just gotta keep drifting to the left. Purple line good. Purple line good. Nose down with 1 single degree of trim. See what that does for us. We're getting a little bit of turbulence out here. We really are. Look down, look down. Don't look them in the eye. Just keep this bad boy nice and level. Now that we're on the VOR line, we do not have to worry about our EFB. We just have to worry about finding Washington, Iowa, and I believe there it is. That should be Washington. KAWG, indeed it is. We're gonna call them up. We're gonna call them up, Washington, Iowa. Ring them on up on the horn here. Tune to approach on 118200. Request flight following.
Approach. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is type Cessna Skyhawk.
2,400
8
feet.
miles west of Kilo Mike Uniform Tango, 2400. Request flight following.
Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. Approach.
Alpha Tree 9er. 0132, Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Squawk 0132. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Squawk
Snoot Sierra
0132.
Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. Radar contact 9 miles west of Kilo Mike Uniform Tango, 2200. Altimeter 297 tree.
297 tree. Roger. Snoot
Roger.
Sierra Alpha Lima
Snoot
9er
Sierra
Tree 9er.
Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er.
Is one of these the heading knob? There it is, the barometric pressure setting. 297 tree. There we go. Let's get back on course now. The nearest airport list. Washington, KAWG. Is that going to be number 5? It's going to be number 6. Tuned to the ATIS. Let's get the weather.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf Automated Weather Observation, 0300 Zulu. Wind, 201 at 10.
Wind out of 20, which means we need to land with that at our tail. We need to land into 4.
Temperature, minus 2 C.
Altimeter,
minus 4 C altimeter
2969er.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf Automated Weather Observation, 0300 Zulu. Wind, 201 at 10. Visibility, 10. Sky condition, few clouds at 4,300, few clouds at 13,000. Temperature, minus 2.
Roger that. So again, we need to land into like 4. Here's KWG right there. What are we gonna select for our runway? Like 13. Runway 1 tree. Full stop. Final stop for the night. Close this. Adjust our heading. Zoom on out. Get ourselves under control. There we are. That's our heading. Now we're going to be landing at runway 1 tree. Which one is that? It's this one right here. To make that happen, we're going to be flying in to the north side, setting up a base approach and coming in on final. If anything, I'm actually going to set up a downwind approach. Let's do it. Get online right here, right now. Peek on over, see if we can locate that blinking beacon. I'm sure it's somewhere. Looks to our right. There it is. Give yourself 1 degree of trim because we're losing altitude. So let's navigate to that beacon. Zoom back out. Stay on heading all the way towards that beacon. – 1,400 feet. We are not going to gain, we're not going to lose. We are gaining, so 1 tip of trim down. There we are. That beacon is our VFR target. We need to intersect with that beacon so that we can set up our downwind. So, tonight's grade is not a good grade. We did have a very serious crash, but here's maintaining the hope that we all survived, or at least most of us did. At least the captain did, right? Here's the hope. The prognosis is not good. We crashed our borrowed jet from Washington Municipal, which means we're going to have to pay off one entire aircraft. The next stream is going to be a Cessna stream, and it's going to be a long-haul cargo trip to begin attempting to make some money to pay off Washington, Iowa, or to pay off Iowa City Municipal. We will be making the trip in the Cessna 172 while we're waiting for our Cessna 152 to be repaired. I'm going to cut back on the throttle a little bit. We're starting to close in on our target. How far out are we? Let's take a look. It looks like we're about 5 miles out if I had to guess. 8 miles, 8 nautical miles. Tip up 1 point of trim because we're really starting to lose altitude here.
500.
Ground level is 800 here, so that lines up. We are about 500 feet above the ground. We're going to not go below 1,000. We need to add just a little bit of throttle. Tick up 1 point of trim. Let's get back online. Tick up 2 points of trim. We need to not go below 1,000. Again, that is our scheme. There we go. We're gonna line on up with that green dot. Tick up 3 points of trim because we can't go below 1,000. There we go. Let's peek over the window here. Where is our blinking beacon? There it is. Now that we're a lot closer, we can zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. What are we looking at? Runway 1 tree. One way 1 tree. Runway 1 tree, I think, is the one that we reserved. Getting blown around here. I'm not on final.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on final. Runway 1 tree. To land. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
My terrible comms are gonna get someone killed.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er. 4 miles east. 1200. Inbound to land. Runway 1 tree. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
We need to stay at about 2,000 RPM and add some trim. Okay, it is. It's runway 1 tree that we have requested. That's the one that's all lateral and vertical. And again, we're going to set up that intersection by approaching this blinking beacon light. Once we hit that blinking beacon, we're going to be able to set up a downwind approach. Close that. We don't want to go below 1,000 here. Continuing. work with that. Slow things down ever so slightly, maybe to 2,000 RPMs. Trim up so we don't drop below 1,000 feet. Peek on over while we still can. Gonna head in, we're gonna head in, we're gonna head in, and then we're gonna set up downwind. We're coming in. Here comes downwind.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on downwind. Runway 1 tree. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
We got a nose up though. Pretty low. A line, a line, a line. We gotta go downwind. There we are. Gonna maintain our altitude here. Give ourselves a little bit of throttle, if anything. And we're gonna switch off into base. Give ourselves full throttle. Oh yeah, we need to turn on the landing light. Thank you, Hype Rider 7671. Turn on our landing light. Switch off into base. Full throttle. We're really getting battered here. Switch into base.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is on base. Runway 1 tree. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
A heavy and hefty climb. There we go. There's our target. Finally, we can cut these throttles. We can nose up, and by nosing up, we can enter flaps territory under 80 knots, 1 degree of flaps. Let's get on in. Stay above 80 degrees. 500. Continue losing speed. Continue. Nose down. Trim down. 2nd degree of flaps. Peek on over. Okay, let's get online here. Third degree of flaps. This is where we need to trust in the visuals.
Stall.
Oh, that what a rough landing. We were able to save it. Nose up, nose up. But we did come on down. We clunked. The landing gear is going to need a swift and immediate look at. Switch on our taxi lights. Switch off our landing lights. Where are we at? Let's get permission to taxi.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is taxiing to parking. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Okay, I believe there is one more off-ramp coming up. A taxiway anyways, pardon me, not an off-ramp. We're going to close our taxi ATC, bring up our EFV. Yep, direct here to the left. It's what happens when a pilot gets flustered. We had a horrible crash earlier and I just don't got the patience for a landing. Please, somebody, stop him. He's tilted. We are now clear of runway, so let's announce clear of runway.
Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf traffic. Snoot Sierra Alpha Lima 9er Tree 9er is clear of the runway. Kilo Alpha Whiskey Golf.
Past a hold short point because we are cleared. Need to slow things down. We're starting to nose up here. Peek on over. see a fuel truck going crazy over there. And where are our boys? Where are our lads? Okay, let's cut that mixture. By cutting the mixture, we can cut the engines. First and foremost, let's cut that accursed blinking. Fantastic. Alright, let's get a little light. Get a little light in here. It's absolutely depressing. Well, thanks for joining in tonight, fellas. What a day. Next stream, again, we're going to be hopping in the Cessna. We're going to be flying some cargo around, attempting to pay off some of this debt that we're starting to rapidly accrue. Right now, we need to pay off Iowa City Municipal. That's the biggest thing. But as it goes on, in our pseudo-career mode, we should be able to hopefully get back to building our own money and maybe upgrading to a jet eventually. But yeah, let's go ahead and shut things down. Alternate air. Shut down the magnetos. Master power goes off. Oh, I had my avionics. That's why it didn't turn on. I never turned it on. I was wondering. Well, hey, it happens. Close down everything. Make sure our parking brake is set. It is. Turn off our fuel selector. Or at least set it to left. Okay, trim's good. Power's cut. Mixture's cut. Hey, hope you have a great day, my co-pilot, and I hope you also have a great day, my passengers. Thank you for flying Snoot Airs. Sorry about the wreck earlier. Hope everyone's okay. And, yeah, join us for our next flight, the cargo flight. Don't know if it's going to be later tonight. Maybe it's going to be tomorrow. We need to start paying off some of this debt. Alright, we left the flaps down. How embarrassing is that? Anyways, this has been Snooze City. Have a great night, everybody.